Would you like to enjoy blooms indoors in the wintertime? Why not make this the year you try one of these holiday beauties? Today's Tuesday tip, we'll discuss Amaryllis, how to rebloom a poinsettia, Paperwhite narcissus, and holiday cactus. Hi, I'm Lorna Ernest with the University of Missouri Extension Master Gardeners of Greater Kansas City. Let's start with the lovely holiday cactus. Holiday cactus are succulents native to Brazil. They're easy to care for, old-fashioned house plants that you may have seen in your grandparents' home, or perhaps you've given or received one as a Christmas gift.
When I refer to holiday cactus, I'm really talking about two closely related plants in the genus Schlumbergera. One, Schlumbergera truncata, is commonly called Thanksgiving cactus. The other, Schlumbergera ex Buckley, is known commonly as Christmas cactus. Both have the same growing and care requirements and look very similar. In a moment, we'll discuss all the traits these two plants share. First, though, I'll tell you the main ways in which they differ. The leaf edge is the most obvious. On the Thanksgiving cactus, the edges have points or spikes. On the Christmas cactus, they're scalloped.
Last, the bloom time. As you might guess, the natural blooming time of this Thanksgiving cactus is about a month earlier than the bloom time of the Christmas cactus. They prefer dry soil, so water only when the top inch or so of the soil becomes dry. If you keep a saucer under your pot, be sure the water doesn't stand there because these Thanksgiving cactus don't like to have wet roots. Being native to a rainforest, however, they do appreciate being misted. These holiday cactus like to be somewhat root bound, so when you have to repot one, put it into a new pot just a little bigger than the one it was already in. When I'm ready to repot this one, I'll likely use a pot that's about this size. When you're ready to repot one, you can lighten the soil by mixing in about 20% of perlite with a standard potting soil, or you can purchase a bagged mix that's made for succulents such as these.
Here's how to get an older holiday cactus to rebloom. Increased darkness and decreased temperature are the keys. Around mid-September, put your plant in a cool room, around 70 degrees during the day and 60 degrees at night. Give it 13 hours of darkness every night. Don't turn lights on in the room after sundown or before sunrise. Perhaps easier, you can move the plant into a dark closet at night and bring it out again during the day, or put a box over it at night.
About 6 to 8 weeks after the little buds form, your holiday cactus will be covered in blooms again to brighten your holiday season.
Now, about paperwhites. Paperwhites are delicate, fragrant, star-shaped white flowers. They grow in clusters produced from a bulb. You can purchase the bulbs from most garden centers. They're usually sold individually or in bags, but can also be found in a kit with growing medium in a container, or pre-planted.
To plant your paperwhite bulbs for indoor bloom, select an appropriate watertight container that's at least 3 to 4 inches tall. Then place 1 to 2 inches of supportive material in the bottom of that container. Take your paperwhite bulbs and set them with the root side down and the tops up on top of the supporting material. Then all you need to do is add more of that material. And you can see I've used gravel here, but you could use marbles or glass beads or sphagnum moss, anything to support the bulbs and hold them upright. You just add enough to cover the bulbs about 2/3 of the way. Once you've got them planted, you just add enough water to come to the base of the bulbs and then set this planter in a bright spot. And in about 6 weeks or so, you'll have beautiful paperwhite blooms. Now, if you want to use a pot that has drainage holes in it, you can do that. That's what I'm going to do with my extra ones. I've got this pot that I love, and I've filled the drainage holes and plugged them so that this pot is watertight now.
Paperwhite stems sometimes flop over when they begin to bloom. Growing them in a temperature around 60 to 65 degrees can help with that. The most popular holiday plant is the poinsettia. To learn how to care for a newly acquired poinsettia, see our companion video on this channel titled How to Care for Your Poinsettia Plants.
If you've got a beautiful poinsettia and you'd like to get it to rebloom for next year, here's how you do that.
After Christmas, through January and February, the poinsettia will drop most of its leaves. By the time the weather is warming up in spring, it will look pretty sad. Don't fret though, just continue to give the plant bright, indirect light, keep the soil slightly moist, never soggy, and when the warm weather returns, you'll begin to see signs of new growth. As soon as you see new leaf buds, repot the poinsettia into a pot about an inch larger than the one it was in, and prune it so it's about 6 to 8 inches tall. Begin to fertilize it weekly with a balanced liquid plant food diluted to half strength. Poinsettias are not toxic to humans or animals. If broken, however, the stems and leaves do exude a sticky latex sap that can cause dermatitis in people sensitive to it. It's a good practice to wear gloves when pruning your poinsettia and to keep all house plants, including your poinsettia, away from children and pets. Move your potted poinsettia outdoors for its active growing season once the last frost date has passed for your USDA hardiness zone, and average temperatures won't dip much below 55 degrees. Your poinsettia will enjoy spending the summer in a sunny location. Once every 3 to 4 weeks from spring until the beginning of September, prune the stems so that each one has about 5 leaves. This will make your poinsettia bushier and keep it to a manageable size. Like holiday cactus, the poinsettia must have short days and long nights to develop its holiday colors. In late September, bring your poinsettia inside. At night, put it in a dark room with no artificial light, not even through a window. Or you can put it in a closet or under a large box. It must have at least 13 hours of total darkness every night for 6 to 8 weeks. During the day, bring the plant out into a bright room, then back into the dark at sunset. If you do this consistently, your poinsettia will become colorful again and you can stop giving it the extra nighttime darkness. The last winter beauty we discuss is Amaryllis. Amaryllis have beautiful, large, trumpet-shaped flowers held atop tall green stalks with strappy leaves. The flowers are brilliant in shades of red, orange, pink, salmon, or white. Some are bicolor, some have a velvety texture, some have pickety edging, and some have double blooms.
Plant your amaryllis bulbs in late October or early November if you want them blooming in mid to late December. The bigger your amaryllis bulb is, the more flowers you'll get from it. My examples here, if you have a bulb that is 11 or so inches around, you're going to get 1 to 2 flower stalks that each have 3 or 4 flowers on it. But if you have a larger bulb, like this one, which is 14 or more inches around, this is going to give you 3 flower stalks, and each of them will have 4 to 5 flowers.
If your amaryllis bulb comes in a kit with a container and growing medium, just follow the instructions it comes with for planting. Some amaryllis bulbs are sold encased in a colorful wax shell, and they aren't meant to be planted at all. A spiraling metal base holds them upright.
When you plant a loose amaryllis bulb, it's good to select a pot that's about twice as tall as the bulb and 1 to 2 inches bigger around than the amaryllis bulb. A heavy pot can be a good choice for an amaryllis because when their stalks rise up and the blooms open, they can become top heavy. A drainage hole is a must, and a support stake can be a good idea as well. I've already put some of my potting mix in the pot. You'll want to use a light, well-draining mixture for amaryllis. A mix of sphagnum peat and vermiculite and perlite can work well for them. So I'm just going to set this in to give you an idea of the height to plant it at. And also, as you fill in the soil around the bulb, you want to make sure that you cover it at least halfway, but really not more than 2/3 of the way. So I'm just going to fill the soil in the rest of the way around my bulb, and I'll settle it in gently. Then once I get it settled in here, I will water it in to make sure it's really settled nicely around my bulb. And then once that's all done, I will put this in a bright window that I've got. While I'm waiting for the flowers, I'm going to keep my soil evenly moist, but not let it get soggy. Also, once the flowers begin to open, I will move my plant back a little bit away from my bright window. Once the flowers are open, in order to keep them looking fresh longer, It's good for them still to have bright light but an indirect light source.
After your amaryllis' first bloom, you can keep it to rebloom in the following years. When the flowers wither, carefully cut off the flower stalks. Until spring, keep the plant indoors in a brightly lit area, water when the top inch of soil is dry, and fertilize every 2 to 4 weeks with a dilute fertilizer solution. Once spring temperatures are consistently above 50 degrees, move your amaryllis outdoors to a shady location at first, but into a bit more sun each day for a week until it is in a fully sunny location. Continue to water and feed it through the summer. By the 1st of September, stop watering and let the leaves wither and die, which will take 2 to 3 months. Remove the dried leaves and move the bulb inside to a cool area around 45 to 50 degrees. If the bulb's roots completely fill the pot, now is a good time to repot it into a pot that's an inch wider. When you observe the tip of a new flower stalk, bring the plant into a lighted, warmer area and resume watering. As before, you'll have lovely new blooms for the holidays.
All these plants and bulbs that we have talked about today can add such beauty to your holiday decor. Whether you discard them after the holidays or you keep some of them to give rebloom a try, they will add nature's beauty to your holiday home. We hope you enjoyed today's Tuesday tip. Give it a thumbs up if you liked our video. Don't forget to check out the extension guide sheets and the other resources in the Show More section, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next video. See you in the garden!